and then it's going to be temperatures back down a little bit, so we're going to be cooling down a little bit. So tomorrow morning parade, Leslie, should be great, should be cool, be a nice start.
Cannot wait for all this fall weather. All right, thank you, Bill. Well, speaking of the Baylor Homecoming Parade, it kicks off bright and early at 8:30 downtown. There will be floats, bands, and more. Here's a look at the parade route. With streets blocked off, spectators can line up along 5th Street on campus. And if you can't make it, don't worry, you can catch it right here on 6 News. We'll also stream it for you on our website, kcentv.com. Well, that's all our time for news, but Friday Night Lights begins right after this break, so keep it here.
At least you showed up. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mic check. 11, 12, 13, 14. I know Jordan's like in Mississippi or somewhere. 16.
Nobody tells me. They just say, "Can you work here? Can you work there?" And I tell them, "Yeah or no."
You say I like money.
Yeah, I just come in. I never know.
Matt, mic check.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, now I can. I couldn't. And this is.
Rivalry week is here as our game of the week returns to one of Bell County's biggest showdowns. Welcome into week 8 of Friday Night Lights. I'm Curtis Quillen.
And I'm Matt Lively. The Crosstown Showdown has been one-sided since its revival in 2016, but Belton is hoping to flip the script.
Temple won the first 4 of those meetings, and only one of them really close, a triple overtime affair in 2018.
Last year's game was canceled on account of COVID, meaning it's been 2 years since those rabid fan bases have been able to feast on the showdown.
This isn't just a rivalry for two towns. There's playoff seeding at stake in this one tonight in Belton. We start early second quarter. Temple up by, and this is true, a lot. Reese Rumfield, Michael Harrison Pilot on the outside picks up the first down for the Cats. First and goal. This time the handoff to Pilot. He powers his way into the end zone. Cats are rolling. Not happy with the one, so let's go for 2. This time it's Thomas Torres open in the end zone. 36-9 Temple in control of this one. So we go to the third quarter. Temple ball. Rumfield to Harrison Pilot. Gets to the outside. Good enough for a first down. And then next play. Rumfield to the air. Who else Mikhail Harrison Pilot just short of the goal line. First and goal for the Cats. Now we go to the former Gridiron Player of the Week, Samari Howard in the shotgun. He takes the direct snap. Yeah, that's a touchdown, 43-9 at that point. Let's go to the board, 50-15 in the fourth. Nikki Latarillo's had a front row seat to this beatdown. It is still in progress. Nikki Temple in control from the opening kick.
Guys, we said Temple has been in control of this rivalry. They are still in control of it. They just won 50-15 the final. There was never a chance where Temple was coming back or was getting into the end zone. They just got that one touchdown when Temple had put their second team offense in, or their second team defense in. But Temple looked so good tonight. On the first play of the game, you knew who was going to come out with the win on this one. Mikhail Harrison Pilot all over the field tonight. Samari Howard all over the field tonight. They play Shoemaker next week, and I think they already beat the best two teams in the district, so it looks like they are smelling the district title already. We will have Coach Stewart and the rest of the guys here to present the trophy in just a little bit, but right now, as you can see, the game just ended. The fans are celebrating, and the Temple Wildcats have won it 50-15, the final over Belton. That's the 8th straight time they've beat them in this rivalry.
Wow. 8 straight. And that might even count last year, which was a forfeit win for Temple because it was a district game. Nikki, we'll check in with you here in just a bit. It is honestly a massive week in District 12 6A. Playoff seating on the line down the street from Tiger Field tonight as well.
Yeah, Shoemaker and Harker Heights have played instant classics the past 2 years, and tonight they'll know they'll need a win with 5 teams appearing to contend for 4 spots. The Knights blew out Belton last week. Meanwhile, Shoemaker hoping to rebound after falling at Bryant. Opening kickoff, the ball is up and through the hands of Joseph McCray, recovered by Harker Heights. They're set up inside the Grey Wolves territory. Then Dylan Blake hits Marcus Maple, and he'll gain the first down and more for the Knights. Few plays later, same duo, Blake to Maple. This time, it's for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdown. Knights go up 7-0. Shoemaker drive. They fake the kick. We've lost the video, but look at that. 49-48. Talk about a heartbreaker for the Shoemaker, a 1-point win.
Last night, Colleen hosting Bryan, still searching for its first district win on Military Appreciation Night. First quarter, Tate Allen pitches to Tate Schneringer, but fumble, and who's on it but Hera? Garner picks it up, and he's almost brought down, says, "Get off me, bro." That's a touchdown. Scoop and score. 7-0 Kangaroos hopping out to an early lead. Second quarter, Brian Ball. Here's the handoff to Dwayne Paul Hill. He carries it across the goal line. We are all tied up at 7. What's better than 1 defensive touchdown? How about 2 defensive touchdowns? Right before the half, Roderick Norman finds Devontae Johnson. He's stripped, and Tyson Turner turns on the Jets. That's a scoop and score, I guess. 30-14 is the final. Bryan gets another win. All right, another rivalry affair happened tonight in Class 6A. This one, Matt, up in Waco.
Yeah, Midway and Waco High have struggled so far in district play, but the rivalry renews with so much on the line. Either the Panthers or Lions get their first win. When I get there, first play, LaMarcus McDonald gets it started with a hurdle.
Wow.
Yeah, this sets up a Waco field goal. It's 11-zip right before half. But on the ensuing kickoff, the Lions get tricky, kick it short, and Midway is caught sleeping.
Whoa.
Fumble on the ground. The Lions have got it. This is a sin. Momentum going for Waco at home. And on the very next play, God, who shot this? This is terrible. Yeah, it was me. I shot this. But credit to Omarion Dalo for making everyone miss. He scores. It's 18-0 Lions. 2 scores later, they're up in a matter of seconds. Hail Mary here for Midway falls short, but really nice. 27-18. What a comeback win for Midway.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
27
Still
unanswered.
Wow. Okay. Elsewhere, 5A, 6A, Ellison all over Coppers Cove on the road tonight, and Burleson takes down University at home. 48-12 is your final. We've got plenty more ahead on Friday Night Lights.
Up next, we'll dive into Class 4A. Stay tuned.
Salado and Connolly both overpowered their opponents in their District 9 4A Division II openers last week.
Tonight, they face off and only can move a step closer to a playoff spot with only 3 games left to play.
Last year, Salado won in a true instant classic, but this is a new era at Connolly. We start on the first drive of the third quarter, 14-0 Eagles. Handoff to Seth Revis, breaks off to his right, gets a block, and he's going down the sideline, picks up 50 to 60 yards. No big deal. Eagles in business. 1 it by land, 2 it by air. Ladies and gentlemen, right back to Revis. That's a catch on Sundays, too. Yes, Salado's throwing the ball. That's when you know they're rolling. Aiden Wilson here gets the handoff, finishes off the drive. The PAT is blocked. 20-0 Eagles at that point. They get the dub, 28-7.
I've never seen a pass in a Salado game. All right, undefeated China Spring looking to keep it going, heading to Gatesville tonight. First snap here, Major Bowden mishandles the opening snap. Hornets recover in Cougar territory. We don't see that often. Then we've got a sideline pass from Hornet QB Wesley Brown to Kyle Schaefer. That gets him out of bounds, but it would set up a field goal by Lucas Macias, 3-0 Gatesville. Then a long kickoff return here.
We don't show special teams for no reason.
No reason at all, but here we go. Cougar, Isaiah Williams. I think he's got a hold. I think he's got a little bit more than a hold.
That one might be a block in the back.
Yeah, that might be coming back, but a good cutback here, and it gets him in a great field position. And then Major Bowden finds Williams for the Cougars' first score. Hello, anybody home? No, 7-3 first half. China Spring rolls per usual, 41-10.
Let's go to Gerald tonight. Robinson on the road searching for its just second win of the year, and it's a crazy one. It might not look like it in these highlights, though. First quarter, Rockets punting, and Jamari Price for Gerald fields the punt here on the hop near the 20. Starts out toward his left, cuts back toward the middle. That's a good return. There's a good block all the way to the Rocket 40. But a penalty sends them back to their own 10-yard line. So it's all for naught on that drive. Andrew Niebel drops back. Sir, you just got mossed. Price absolutely demolishes the defender, but the Cougars would have to punt on this drive. It would get to 21-0 Gerald, but look at the score here. 50-43 Robinson with a win. What is happening in football? What a night.
The Rockets are going up. All right, other scores in 4A tonight. Mahia not doing well against Van. They lose 62-6, and then Lampasas gets the 31-16 win over Burnett.
And then we've got La Vega taking down Brownwood for its first district win, 49-33. Don't go away. We've got plenty more Friday Night Lights ahead.
We'll go back to Belton, but first, as we go to break, take a listen to the winner of this week's Battle of the Bands, the Whitney Wildcats.
We'll be right back. right, let's not waste any time. Let's go back to Tiger Field. Nikki Lattarulo is there with the victorious Temple Wildcats, and she's got Scott Stewart for the trophy presentation.
Well, hey guys, yeah, Temple beating Belton 50-15. So like I said, I think it's the 8th straight time they beat Belton, so they call it a rival, but it's the 9th?
Yeah, 9th.
Okay, it's the 9th straight time they beat Belton. So coach, the trophy, our week 8 game of the week champ. So it's already week 8. How are you feeling about your team this late into the season?
Well, I think they did a great job tonight. This is a tough situation. There's a lot of emotion involved with this game, so I thought the kids handled it well. I told them I was going to be tougher on them, so the emotions did get away from them. So, you know, I'm not here to be their buddies, but I do love them. But handled a tough situation. Came out here, made some plays. Just real proud of this football team and what they're doing.
So last time we were talking, you guys had a slow start, came out in the second half to win. How much better was it to come out fast and finish strong?
It's always, I mean, like, you know, we some weeks we come out fast and don't hold it. Some weeks we start slow and then come out fast. I mean, this was probably the most consistent we've played, and that this is the right time to be doing that. So I've always said the biggest room in the house is a room for improvement. So we'll go back, look at tape, and fix some of the things that we got going on and try to get as good as we can. I just, you know, my challenge, these guys is going to be we need to put our best 48 minutes together as a team, and if we do that, I'll take what comes.
All right, and Mikkel, great game all over the field tonight. What was working for you?
Just being me out there playing, just playing physical, just being an athlete, and just playing whatever the team needs, I'll do it, you know. So it's just fun always doing that.
And what was the environment like? Any different with this rival atmosphere?
I mean, you could tell when a fan was all here, then like towards the second half, the building started leaving. So it's just, but I mean, it's always gonna be a rivalry with them. We're gonna have the greatest atmosphere with this game.
Samari, great game for you too. So you guys beat Harker Heights, you beat Belton. Those are the other 2 best teams in the district. Do you smell another district title?
I'm not gonna be too cocky, but I think so. But we got a lot of work to do. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Shoemaker next week. How do you guys carry the momentum into that game?
It's homecoming. We're expecting to come out with a dub, but we just got to be critical. They got a good quarterback. They got a good defense too. I think they're number 1 in rushing defense and passing defense. So we definitely got to be on our game of homecoming.
What do you want people to know about this team?
The grit. Like we come like through the summer, like we put in so much work. Everybody, we were like last in the district predicted, I'm pretty sure, but you can see we're proving everybody wrong. So,
well, these are our week 8 game of the week. We lost 2. All right, well, we lost coach. He ditched us. 50-15, the final here in Belton. So 9th straight time.
sure.
9th straight
man,
time.
sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Send it back to you guys.
Samari Howard correcting our stats. All right, Nikki, we'll see you here in just a couple minutes. Scott Stewart, he's got places to be. Man, he's got to watch Friday Night Lights. Well, that's it for the NBC portion of our show, but we're not going away. Still plenty more action ahead. We'll have the live stream next. the live stream portion of the show. I'm your traffic cop, Curtis Quillen, alongside Matt Lively. We'll hear from Nikki Lattarulo in just a second. It's one of the most enthusiastic atmospheres in Central Texas.
Big time. Every time Temple and Belton face off, it's a front of a sellout crowd.
And after a while between meetings in this rivalry, they finally brought it back in 2016.
Yeah, COVID canceled last year's meeting, but this is such a great atmosphere that it's been our game of the week all 5 times since its rebirth, and Temple is 4-0 heading into tonight.
This isn't just a rivalry for two towns. There's playoff seeding at stake in 12-6A tonight at Tiger Field. Early second quarter, Temple up by a lot, and I promise that's true. Reese Rumfield, Mikhail Harrison, Pilot outside, picks up the first down for the Wildcats, and they're rolling. First and goal. This time it's the handoff to Pilot. He carries it into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats, but they would not settle for just one. They go for 2. And there is Thomas Torres opening the end zone, 36-9. Temple leads at the half. Third quarter now. Temple ball. Rumfield hands it off to Harrison. Pilot gets to the outside. He's good enough for a Temple first down. Next play. Rumfield going through the air to who else? Harrison. Pilot just short of the goal line. That's where the ruling is anyway. Then in the shotgun, Samari Howard takes the direct snap. That's a touchdown, 43-9 at that point. Final score, 50-15. Temple gets the win. Let's go back to Tiger Field for Nikki Lattarulo. Nikki, Temple in control from start to finish. It seemed like the Belton defense had no answers tonight.
It looked like Belton just had no answers, period. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm just saying it in the fact that the touchdown that they scored was Temple didn't have their starters on the field. It was the end of the game. So basically they scored once during that entire game against Temple's first team defense. And I thought that Belton, if any team, would be the one to maybe give Temple a little bit of a run for their money, but that was not the case. Temple looks so good on all phases of the game. Their defense just forces so many turnovers, and then their offense, they have it going in all areas. They could throw the ball, they could run the ball. Samari Howard is a machine. And then Mikhail Pilot, he was all over the field tonight, more than I've seen him in any other game this season. So I think they just showed that how many weapons they really do have. Next week they have Shoemaker, which is another good team in this district. But I said it before, they beat Harker Heights already, they beat Belton already. So I think the district title is theirs for the taking, back-to-back. But they said they didn't want to be too cocky about it. They have obviously more games to play, but this was a much more accurate representation of what they could do, because the game we saw against Harker Heights, they came out so slow and then they had to come back. Tonight, they didn't have to come back. They had it going all game long, but the atmosphere was like a playoff atmosphere. Belton fans didn't stop the whole time, even though the Tigers were losing. So it was just like loud and exciting. But this rivalry game has been Temple's. They say 9 straight games. I have to go back and fact check because I thought it was 8, but they say 9, we'll say 9. I don't know, guys. I think Temple is going to take the district this year again.
I think it's 8 plus the COVID forfeit last year, so I think they're
9.
Technically right,
Yeah.
but only
Okay,
8 of those games have been on the field.
I didn't count that.
Yeah. So that would make sense.
Samari Howard was ruthless with
He
that.
is.
He was like, it's 9.
It's 9. It's one of those rivalries. Like if you go to like Mart Riesel, it used to be that way, and like the Mart players would go,
Yeah.
"This isn't a rivalry," and the Riesel players were very much saying the opposite.
Yeah.
Nikki, we'll break down the big picture, what this means after we take a look at some of the other action in 12-6A here in a bit. Stay warm. All right, we tried to show you this earlier, but we had some issues with the video file, but we got it fixed. It's a massive week in 12-6A. Playoff seating on the line down the street from Tiger Field as well tonight.
Yes, Shoemaker, Harker Heights have played instant classics the past 2 years, and tonight they know they'll need a win with 5 teams appearing to contend for 4 spots. So the Knights blew out Belton last week. Meanwhile, Shoemaker hoping to rebound after falling at Bryan. Opening kickoff, the ball is up through the hands of Joseph McCray. You can't do that. Recovered by Harker Heights. They're set up inside the Grey Wolves territory. Then Dylan Blake hits Marcus Maple, and he'll gain the first down and more for the Knights. A few plays later, it worked so well the first time, let's do it again. Maple for 6, like it's putting it on pancakes. Knights go up 7-0. Shoemaker drive. They will fake the kickoff on 4th down and are able to pick up the first, like I'm playing Madden. Next play, Omari Evans to Padron Horace. He'll run into the end zone for Shoemaker. That's a touchdown. The Grey Wolves tied at 7. Harker Heights wins it 49-41. 40.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
It goes to overtime.
Overtime, 66-57 Shoemaker. Unbelievable. Curtis Quillen is bent over. He can't believe it. You're not going to see him, but my God. What a game.
What a week.
What a week.
This is a wacky week in football. Because this next one, Matt, was just as crazy. So let's go to 3A. The West Trojans 7-0 going into tonight. And to be honest, their game tonight against Whitney finishes our Game of the Week runner-up if we're pulling the curtain back.
Big time it did. And these two teams are competing with Grandview, which is really talented, undefeated, for the 3A Division I title in the next 2 weeks. So we're expecting a lot of points here. The Trojans and Wildcats facing off in the big one. And Kurt, this was just a game of fumbles, but it was not the kind that resulted in turnovers. So first drive, Zane Minen takes it himself, and it's on the ground, but West jumps on it. So no harm, no foul. A few drives later, still no score. Garrett Peacock gives to Kyler Cryans, or so he thought. Hot potato. It's on the ground, but Cryans picks it back up. Ensuing drive. There's the ball again, and Whitney's got it again. 3 balls put on the ground, nothing happening. It was just defense all over the board and no scores in the first quarter. It ended up being 14-10. West gets the win over Whitney. That's a huge win. And David Woodard told me before the game, these are 2 good teams. So
2 good teams that apparently can score against everyone except themselves. McGregor looking to bounce back tonight at home, hosting district frontrunner Lorena in District 11. We joined the game in the second half. Leopards 35. Bulldogs nothing at this point. Ryan Abel scrambles, throws to Camden Brock, and finds Jalen Porter. Able to Michael Moore for another nice gain. And then you see the Lorena drive here. That's a nice gain there for the Leopards.
I'll take that.
And they'd get the win on the road. It was 42-0. At that point, 63-0 is your final.
All right, Academy on the road tonight at Caldwell as district play rolls on. First quarter action, shotgun set for the Bees. Zane Clark takes the handoff, and he goes virtually untouched in the end zone for 6. There's that cannon blasting in my ear and on your screens at home. Caldwell looking to match for a score. Jamar Hewitt takes the sweep. That's good for a first down, but the Hornets would not be able to find the end zone on the drive. So we go back to Little River. Casey Mraz. We're going to look at some teams now. Casey Mraz may be related to Jason. Is he feeling lucky on the slant route? Yes, he is. His name is Elite, and the play is even better, making it 14-0 for the road team. Things not looking good for Caldwell. They'd get even worse. Braden Bartlett takes the toss. He's gone. Academy rolls 49-0. It's been 7 years since the Bartlett Bulldogs have won a district game.
That sounds like a long time because it is. They've already won multiple games this year for the first time in 5 years, but have struggled in District 13 2A Division II play. So tonight, Bulldogs hoping to turn that around against district rival Burton in what would be a really tough game to try to do that in. First quarter, Burton going with the ground game early on. Here's a touchdown from short. PAT is no good, so it's 6-0 Panthers. Ensuing Bartlett drive, Tate Tipton going over the middle, picked off, and who is it but Andre Ortiz hitting the user pick button. He goes to the outside, doesn't get much, but the Panthers are in business. Ensuing drive, first play of the second quarter. It's Tyrone Gilman, lowers his shoulder, powers his way into the end zone. I don't think you can hear the pop of the shoulder pads on that one. 2-point conversion, good. Burton up 14-0 at that point. Burton rolls 49-0.
All right, Chilton Hubbard 49-0. The Pirates just blew past the
Jaggers.
That just seems wrong. But I'm going with I trust you. You're my sports director. The Jaggers, the McJaggers.
There's many a mascot that when Nick and Jessica told me about, it blew my mind completely.
All right, and listen, we've got a special guest that we're getting to as well.
We do. Earlier tonight, we showed you West getting a massive district win over Whitney at home.
Yeah, joining us on the FNL hotline now is head coach of the West Trojans, David Woodard. And Coach, congrats on the win. For what I saw and what I was there for, this was no scores. We're waiting 1 second on Coach. Do we have Coach? All right, we've got Coach. Hey, Coach, Matt Lively here. I want to say, for the first quarter that I filmed and I was there for, no scores. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking this was going to be a high-scoring affair.
Right.
And you get a 14-10 win. What happened?
Those guys are really good over there, especially defensively, and what they've, the way they played us tonight and played us the last few years. And, points were at a premium, and, we left a point or two or on the table. And, luckily defensively we played really well tonight.
Coach, it's Curtis. I mean, you guys are 8-0 for the first time in a long while. What's clicking for you guys right now as you enter the open week?
Our kids just have a lot of confidence. And, we feel like we have a great chance to win every time that we step on the field. So, that's important for us. And, defensively we're playing well and limiting teams to scoring. And so anytime you play good defense and you're able to run the football a little bit, you give yourself a chance to win.
Coach, we're getting a little bit of feedback on your end. I'm not sure if it's the reception. This is a really tough district. You still got arguably the district title bout to go. What's the message in the locker room after this win tonight?
Get better. Come to practice next week and let's fix the things that we didn't do a very good job at tonight and get better each and every day. We know that we've got things to do and we know that we got things to fix, and it's about rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
Hey, Coach, one of the most bizarre things that I saw from tonight, the first 3 balls that were put on the ground didn't result in turnovers. Was that a little frustrating that you guys actually coughed one up, but Whitney coughs 2 up themselves and nobody's jumping on them?
Yeah, it's really frustrating that we put them on the ground, and so we've got to work on that, and we got to work hard to get balls when they're on the ground and create turnovers, and we've done a great job of it so far this year. Just bounced their way tonight, I guess.
Coach, this is a team that I know your team. It's always got the same identity, focused on the task at hand. But I know preseason this was a motivated ball club. Even now, 8-0, really good start in district play. How much does that second round showdown with Mount Vernon last November still kind of stick in the craw of some of these players?
It does. And we talk about, the chances we had to win that game. And tonight was one of those things where you draw from those talks and you draw from, learn from the experiences that we had. And so, kids did a great job of finding a way to win at the end, and defensively we played lights out tonight, and we were able to get enough offense to get it done.
And now as you kind of prepare for Grandview, and I know you just win this game, so I'm not expecting you to be in your office right now looking at film, but what is the one thing that has stood out to you about them this season that you've seen?
Honestly, I hadn't seen them very much, but they're Grandview, and they feel like every time they walk on the field that they've got a chance to win the game. And so, offensively and defensively, they do a lot of the same things they've done, and their scheme is really good and with what they do and the situations they put you in. So, they're going to be a tough opponent, and we've got to work hard to clean ourselves up to make sure that we're ready to go.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to that one. And I got to say, we talked pregame, and we were talking about what a good community West is, and it was really exciting for me to finally see that home crowd in action. And as I left the stadium, I'm going through downtown there, almost on every business front, go West, beat Whitney, beat the Cats, and that was like right out of a movie for me. That was really cool to see, and so unbelievable job tonight, and congrats on the win.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate y'all, and appreciate the support our community and students came out and gave us tonight.
There he goes, David Woodard. Coach, we appreciate you squeezing some time in out of your busy schedule for us after the big-time win. West gets a massive win over the Whitney Wildcats. David Woodard's squad is rolling. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think this is the best team he's had in his 9 seasons as head coach.
I said it before. They seem special. Just something about this team, and they came really close last year. They make a deep playoff run, but gosh, I mean, they're a fun team to watch. And he said Whitney is a better team than you think, and they give them respect, and they've given them fits in the last 3 years. So what a great win.
And if you believe in transitive wins, Whitney's got Grandview next week at home. That's going to be a massive showdown as well. Guys, I want to say that game between West and Grandview in 2 weeks, if Grandview gets past Whitney next week, would be for Region 2 supremacy. But the problem is 3A Division 1 Region 2, which is where West is so unbelievably loaded that anything can happen any single week. All right, let's go to one of my favorite segments of the show every week. We award one of the top players in Central Texas with our Friday Night Lights Gridiron Player of the Week. And Matt, you were digging through record books this week.
Yeah, I was working a sweat, looking through the record books, and what I say is big-time playmakers make big-time plays, and this time around, it was someone who etched their name in school history.
there's a lot of talent that comes through here. So, you know, if you're like one of the best, it feels good knowing that, you know.
Every school has a few greats that walk through the doors and cement themselves in the history books. For Harker Heights, Rashawn Sanford II is one of those greats.
It was really exciting because me and my coach talked about it on Monday, like the past Monday. We were like we set a goal for ourselves. We did the same thing last year. I broke a record against Belton last year, so to come out and do that again is just really exciting, you know.
Sanford broke the Knights' record for rushing touchdowns in a game last Friday against Belton with 5. The year before, he broke the record for rushing yards in a single game against the Tigers.
Well, if he keeps on pace, he'll be at the top of the list in all the record boards. You know, I think he's about 150 yards away from the all-time rushing record here at Harker Heights. I've coached a lot of good backs, you know, through my coaching career, and he is definitely in the top tier of those running backs for sure.
Sanford ended up rushing for 257 yards on 17 carries. 16 of those came in the first half.
We were going to take him out of the game, and he really wanted that 5th one, and so I told him if we had the opportunity, we'd get him in, and we got inside the 7, so he got 1 carry in the second half and was able to get the school record.
It happens almost every week, so it's like it's not even a surprise no more.
The most impressive part of where Sanford ranks in the books is that he's just a junior, meaning a full senior campaign awaits.
All the rest of the records, you know, try to break the ones that I already have, set more goals for myself, and keep accomplishing goals and keep working.
Not a very bold prediction of me, but he's going to break every record.
He's going to break every record at school, at that school. This is Harker Heights' version of Zach Kurbacek at Troy.
Yeah.
The past few years.
Seriously, just saying, he's only a junior.
He's only a junior.
Did you guys see the way that he can cut up and down the field?
Right.
I mean, he's going to be so fun to watch in college.
I was telling Matt during the story that I watched him break out against Ellison last year, and it was unbelievable, especially when Edwards told me he was only a sophomore.
Nuts.
Excellent job.
Just nuts.
Excellent job. Let's take a look at some other area scores tonight. Let's start in 3A. Grosbeck and Eustis, no score for Teague Malakoff. Cameron and Troy was a bit of a fiasco tonight. No officials available to call the game. They will play tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then Clifton gets its first win of the season, just edging out Buffalo.
Yeah, I feel bad for Cameron there. All right, Lexington. They get edged out by Rogers, 43-41. And then Valley Mills falling to Bosqueville, 34-12.
Crawford all over Rio Vista, 41-6. Dawson takes down Axtell, 56-34.
You've got Marlin with a big win, 40-7 over Cayuga. And then Thorndale blowing out Bruceville Eddy, 40-0.
How about Rosebud Lot with a bounce back, 46-20 at Moody tonight. Mart doing what Mart does. They're just blowing out Fremont.
So good. Jonesboro, 70-8 over Yvonne. And then Central Texas Christian, a 48-28 win over Schertz John Paul II.
How about Bishop Riker getting dub number 1 on the year, 49-0 over Tyler All Saints. And Hazlitt Legacy Classical takes down Parkview, 37-12.
Plano, 80. Wait, hold on. I didn't know that we got NBA preseason mixed up in here. Live Oak wins 84-80. Are you kidding me? What a game.
Wow.
All right, and then Holy Trinity, 60-34, the dub.
And that is all of our scores for tonight, which means it's time to bring Nikki
Let's go.
Latarullo back into the fold. We're going to talk big picture breakdown. We already talked extensively game of the week, so let's talk about the other game you saw tonight, Nikki. Shoemaker in overtime knocks off Harker Heights. How big is that for the Wolves?
Wait, are we sure? Because I just saw the Harker Heights won in overtime by 1 point.
Oh boy.
Are you sure it was Shoemaker? I don't really have the best service here. So it might.
This is what happens.
I just saw my service is not good here, but I just saw that it said Harker Heights 157-56.
So we saw 66-57 on our air. Let's go
all right
to the Twitter sphere.
Shoemaker wins it 66-57.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that that I got my facts checked.
Yeah, I just fact checked it.
That is. I just wanted to make sure it was fact checked because I don't have service, so my stuff is not updating. What did you say?
First Samari, now I'm fact checking you.
We're off the rails, folks.
Yeah. What is all right, Nikki? What is up
How
with
big,
Shoemaker?
how big is this win for the Grey Wolves?
Okay. Well, this is a really big win, but I was there in the beginning of the game, and they started off with they fumbled the ball, and then Harker Heights scored, but then they answered right back, and they just marched down the field and scored. They faked out the 4th down punt, and they went for it, and they scored the touchdown like a few plays later. So I was like, okay, this team is looking good today. They're taking risks, and I guess it paid off because that's a really big win. And I just, like I said to Samar, he said, oh, you guys have Shoemaker next week. I think they're the next best team in the district. I think if they can give Harker Heights a run for their money, that might be Temple's next biggest opponent, considering Belton didn't look like that much of a tough opponent. So yeah, that is a really big win for them.
And Scott Stewart said there's a lot of parity in this district. If there's a game that proves it, it's that one, because we thought Harker Heights and Temple was for the district title.
Yeah.
And it probably will be down the line, but then Bryan knocks off Shoemaker, and Shoemaker knocks off Harker Heights, and then you've got Shoemaker Belton in a couple of weeks on a Thursday night.
High school football, anything could happen.
Especially when Leo Buckley Stadium is involved. Let's talk about the other 6A game in the area tonight. And no, I'm not talking about the one in Coppers Cove. Midway, 28 unanswered. Matt, you were there. I want both of your takes on this. Is this a turnaround spot for Midway potentially?
I would say Waco's not having the greatest season. I wouldn't leverage all my eggs in one basket and say Midway's turning it around. But the fact that they score all these points in the second half, they go into the locker room 18 down, and from what I saw, momentum was gone. They put their backup QB in. It looks like hope was lost for the Midway Panthers. So, I mean, just what a turnaround. And at the very least, you have to be encouraged by what you saw.
Nikki?
Well, I think it's good to see. I'm sure Anderson is happy that his guys didn't just give up and just throw in the towel and be like, all right, we're going to lose this one. They fought to win it, and to come back and put that many points up in the second half is definitely encouraging, because it just goes to show that they may not have had the strongest start to the season, but they're not giving up. They're ready to go. And if they can win from here on out, anything is possible in high school football. So you got to start somewhere. So I'm happy they got that win, and now on to the next. Keep marching forward for them.
Salado takes down Connolly, scores 14 points in each half. Is it business as usual for the Eagles with China Spring next week?
Yes, I think, well, that's going to be an interesting game because China Spring hasn't lost yet. They look great. Salado looks great. I don't know who I think is going to win that game. That's going to be a crazy battle, I'm sure. But I'm not surprised that both of them got the win tonight at
Last
all.
year,
Especially
Salado
over
went into the China Spring
Connolly's
game
not as strong as they
against an
usually are.
undefeated China Spring with one loss to Grandview. And then this year, they're going in with 2 to Grandview and Stephenville, who knocked off La Vega last week. Matt, this Salado runs the slot tee as anyone in the state of Texas. What is the potential of this Eagles team? You've seen them.
It's dominant. I mean, you don't think much of it when you see it in person. You're thinking, all right, what are they going to get? 3 yards on every play? And then it works. It works. They know how to break through. They know where to find the gaps, and that's probably what they do so well, is they know where to run, and they know their assignments, and that's what you have to do when you run the slot tee. But they're going into China Spring, and I'm a low man on the totem pole here, but I'm just going to say, I would assume that might be a game of the week.
It's one we're eyeing.
Yeah, it's one we're eyeing. That is a fantastic matchup. And, I mean, God, China Spring, Salado, you can't ask for anything more.
And let's talk about China Spring. Dominant over Gerald, dominant over Gatesville. My God, they're just crushing dudes this year.
Yeah.
74-0 over Gerald last week. Then they go to Gatesville and get a massive win.
Even, look, this was the first play of the offensive play for,
and it didn't hurt them.
It didn't hurt them at all.
And the defense is able to make big plays. So what are we, I mean, next week is going to probably determine the district championship, because to me, there's a very clear stratification between 1 and 2 and the rest of the district. So what is the potential for China Spring?
A district title and a deep run. From what we've seen from them so far and just how good they've looked, there's no reason to believe that this team isn't going to be playing for a while.
Nikki?
Yeah, I don't think there's a ceiling for China Spring at all. I think that they've just dominated every single game they've played this season. So it's hard to see what they do bad and if they can lose. So I'm interested. I think that next week will be their toughest test so far, for sure.
it should be. We're eyeing it as game of the week. Nicky Lattarulo, we will see you tomorrow at McLean Stadium. We are running out of time, so no Baylor buy-sell this week. And because I want to be able to say one thing. We are losing one of our best digital producers we've had in my 6 football seasons here. Christian Alamán Rodriguez. This is his last night and his last show. He is heading to our sister station, KView, in Austin. You'll be missed, my friend. That's it for week 8. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the week. We'll see you under the lights.